Hey Involution, welcome to another edition of Shootin' Plink. We're going to be talking about scope mounts today, and particularly with the Evil Roy. Now, I did videos on this before, so I'm not going to get into that, but you can look those up if you go. But these scope mounts, the one question, I had three questions in a row. I thought, okay, I'm going to do a video, we're going to talk about them again. There are different types of see-through mounts. And these are monstrums, even between the brand himself. These are monstrums. No, they did not supply these. I got these off of Amazon, I guess it was. Anyway, this type is the one that I like, and I'll show you. I'll turn it around here, and hopefully you can see. You can see right here. Move it around here. See how open that is? And I move this other hand, and you can see that you can see right down through those and see your other side. It's very good. Okay, some of these that they're calling a see-through, yes they are, but they're not, because they've got bars. You got like a little square. Well, that lower one that's across there, it blocks this, so it don't work. Another one that they have that is similar to this, it has this rounded type thing like this one. The problem is right up here, it's split across the top, and that's how you have to do it. In other words, you're getting your scope clamped into it, you're getting this clamped on at the same time. What a royal pain. You start, it doesn't mount right, you're trying to loosen it, you loosen it to turn your scope, and then what happens is you loosen it down here, you can't get anything lined up right. With these monstrums, I'm really impressed with them. Because you can see right here, you clamp them on, and then up here you've got 4 more screws, because you've got a bracket where you can lay the scope in. Now I can loosen these, and I don't have to worry about untightening these or loosening them. So by having it that way, then I can take this scope and move it. In fact, I think this scope is off. We're going to be finding out, because we're going to be shooting this at the scope, I think, turns just a little bit or something. I don't know. I just think it's off. It's been banged. And scope's setting. Sometimes scopes can just set. And I got a feeling these CV Life ones could just set and go off on their own. And anyway, we're going to find out. And at that rate, but I know that these sights, the open sights, should be dead on, because this is a very good open sight gun. I love this Evil Roy. And it's just a good gun. This Henry lever action's got different size barrel than a lot of the other carbines, because this is a carbine. But anyway, like I said, I was getting a lot of questions on these mounts, these rings, these scope rings. And there's a lot of them on the market, and I can see why it's confusing. And there was one gentleman, he says, I really want to get a set of those like you have on the scope. Well, I've tried different scopes and a lot of rifles, so I wasn't sure. But then I got my rifle out, and I seen, okay, yeah, I got these monstrums. I knew I'd got those. In fact, at the time I was getting these, I probably went through about, I don't know, three different brands of, in fact, I even went through another monstrum, so I was actually 4 in a roundabout way. And that monstrum, I just didn't like it. It was called a see-through, and it was not like this one. This one is the, I think it's called a V2 or something like that, but I think there's 2 V2s, which is even more confusing. So you just want to make sure that they've got this sort of a thing, and they've got this up here. And that's what I also had questioned, an almost identical question. The guy knew which one I had this way, but he said he evidently went and bought the ones that you clamp together. He says, well, do they fall apart like that, or is it so hard? And so I'm telling him too, if he's watching this, I told him to make sure he watched for a video, that no, use these monstrums like this. I sent him a link. I've done this with every person that has asked me a question about these. That's what you want to get, a good see-through. Now, maybe in some cases you wouldn't really want a see-through mount, but with this particular rifle, and if you've got like a carbine like this and you want see-throughs, yeah. I can remember the late John Simon one. He was a fellow outdoor writer out of Louisiana, and later I think he moved to Kentucky or Tennessee, somewhere there. Anyway, he said he always liked see-through mounts. For one reason, he hunted wild boar a lot, and he hunted in areas where there was poisonous snakes. John was a doggone good shot. He was going to hit that snake. But couldn't do it with a scope like that. In the same way with a boar. He says if a boar turns on you and starts charging you, don't necessarily mean you get him with that, but he says if you got that open sight that you can see through and get a good picture on, which you can with this mount, then you're going to be able to hit your target. Well, of course, shooting Plink, we just shoot targets. But I still don't want something that's going to be off and this and that. So what we're going to do first here is we're going to go down, and then I'm probably going to do something else besides, but we're going to go down here, and we're going to shoot at some really, really outdated soda pop. You know, if you've been watching it, I've had some of this, and we're going to see if they explode with a single round of this. Tried a BB here recently, and a single BB didn't do it. We did it with a cluster of them, but this time we're going to do it with the Colibri, and Super Colibri actually, and we're going to see what she does. So let's turn around, we'll shoot those cans and see how it works. That one. Now, the next one we're going to do, this next one we're going to do with the open sights. That one blew a little bit, didn't it? Well, this is one of the cans. You see that must come out over there. It's still got plenty of pop in it. No, I'm not going to drink it. But the shot itself went right into the bullseye area, and then it split the can, as you can see here, and it put a hole through here, come around. So anyway, it blew it up, and the other one was the same way, but it was a little off. So I'm thinking that this scope is off for sure. I'm going to lay this down here. It's still spilling out. Anyway, I really think this scope is off some. So we're going to shoot at our pizza board thing where I put a bullseye. We'll put that down there, and we'll see if the scope is off a wee bit. For some reason, it just looks like it's shooting a little to the left. Anyway, let's put up the board, and then we're going to shoot. You've probably seen where that hit, but I'm going to go take a look before I actually do. Put another round in. But before we actually fire it with the open sights. That's right, it is off a little bit. The scope needs adjusted a bit. It's shooting left and a little bit low. Now we'll see how the open sights look. This is where you can see the difference. Are they both on where I put them before? I don't know, it shouldn't be. The open sights ought to still work the same. Okay, you notice I've got this here, which you probably seen in the first part and was kind of wondering about it. I can't find my AccuCast gun support. I have no idea what's going on with it. But like I said, we were going to go down and get this, and I did. And here it is. The round I fired with the scope, like I said, it was off. It's going to have to be readjusted. And the other one that went with the open sights is almost dead center. Almost perfectly dead center. And by the way, I'm shooting Super Colibri, the quiet ammo. And so, you know, it's doing real good. And those scope rings, I'd already talked about those, so we're not going to go into that again. But then also, as a tip, if you can find a stump like this, it's got a Y in it, that'll work as a perfect shooting stand. I just wish I knew what I did with my AccuRest, the Shooter's Choice AccuRest. It must be left out at Cedar Oaks or something or other. Anyway, that's what we were doing, and that's what I wanted to do, is to try to answer questions. And you know, it doesn't bother me at all on questions, but when I get a group of them, which is kind of weird. I mean, this video was done several months ago where I did this before. And I get an awful lot of questions anyway about this gun. the Evil Roy. And by the way, the Evil Roy is discontinued. Henry does not make it anymore. So if you can find one and you want one, get it, because that's the only way you're going to get it. And it is. It's a very nice gun. Very good shooter. Had a little bit different length barrel than other Henrys had. It's a carbine. It's I mean, I really like it. It's a real good shooter, and as you can see, I mean, with just my open sights, it's a great open sights gun like this. But I put this little compact scope on there, and it had worked, but I can see, looking at it, it's like this. So it needs a little bit of adjustment on things. I gotta level it out, and I probably gotta do the other two. So I'm gonna do that, but not on camera. But as I said, if you got any questions, go ahead. It doesn't bother me at all. I get questions sometimes. Then you go through the website. That's where the email is. And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about the Dan's Fish and Tail Shooting Plink website. And that's another thing. I mean, any fishing questions, those come through too. I'll have things such as the Virgil Ward documentary, or not the documentary too. I definitely get questions on that, and that was produced back in '99, I think, 1999. But I get questions on a show that I did with Virgil in 1984, and some of my other shows, because I've done television shows, and I got those on there for the Fish and Tails part. And then there's other things there. We got tips and stuff. We've also got some no-name videos that are on products and such. So, you know, just browse around, have fun, look around, see if you got any questions about anything like this, like these rings like I had. No problem. I'll try to answer them. Sometimes I kind of forget as to what I did. And the first time that the one gentleman got a hold of me on this, it's like, I don't know, I still got that scope on there? I just couldn't remember. Alright, I did some real quick adjustment. As you can see, this is down here where we had it, and I got the scope adjusted back and forth. For some reason, been sitting there long enough evidently that this CV Life scope, the adjustment was stuck. I couldn't even turn it for a bit. I had to get some pliers, and once I did, got it loosened up, it worked great. But I over adjusted, put one over here, and then I was able to put another round right on top of where I had fired it with the open sights, and that's what I wanted to do. I wanted it right where I had the open sights so that we could use both. Anyway, I wanted to come back and show you that. Hopefully I answered some questions and got them taken care of. So until next time, shoot safe and have a great day of plinking.